Hello, ladies. Good to see you. Let's wait another minute for everybody to hop on the call. I'm glad to see you. Would anyone like to share a win? Has a question while we're still waiting a minute or two for the rest of the gang to hop on. Tina?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, wait a second. I can't hear you, but this could be my... Try again, please.
Let me just see.
Oh, it's okay. It was my speakers.
Okay, can you hear
Sorry
me
for
now?
that.
Is that
Go
okay?
ahead.
Perfect. Okay, great. Yeah, so I was just saying this is my second time in the tapping circle, and I just went to the one on at the Cure Cravings, and I just started the 6-week program, and I already saw a big win. I tapped on yeah, I tapped on like soda, and I tapped on, I forget what else I tapped on, but I haven't had any of that since then. So I think that's
Awesome.
great. I didn't even have a desire. And it's like I'm in disbelief a little bit. Like I'm sure probably all of you have experienced this, but I'm kind of like, oh, is it, is it me? And did something really shift? So I'm kind of in disbelief, but it's a good thing. And I'm hoping that it'll continue. I guess I have a little fear about that.
Okay. That's
Yeah, but
perfectly normal. But yeah, that sounds like you had a great win already. Well done. And
yeah,
yeah, thanks for
thank
being
you.
here. Welcome. It takes a little bit to trust the whole thing. If you are afraid, oh my God, this is too good to be true, this can't be it, it's gonna go back to where it was, you can basically tap on that. You can freestyle it, or we have a little technique we call journal and tap, aka puke on the page. If you have any thoughts about this is too good to be true, this is not gonna work, I've tried everything under the sun and it didn't work, just banging on my face until I'm bruised can't be the solution, whatever your brain comes up with, because it's kind of ridiculous, right? We sit here, we bang on our face, and we expect it to solve all our problems. I mean, if you try to tell that somebody, they might call you crazy, and we call ourselves crazy for that too. So if you have thoughts along those lines, write them out, like journal on it. You can make it like bullet points. You don't have to write a whole novel. And then you can basically rate the whole package. How strong do you feel about it? 0 to 10. And then use what you wrote as your tapping script, basically tuning into the feeling, reading it out loud while you tap, and see if that makes a difference. So that's basically this general tap puke on the page. It works for almost anything that's like a belief or not directly a memory. So you could give that a try if it
Yeah.
bothers you, or if you're just willing to be a little bit skeptical and be open to get surprised some more, then that's totally okay too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm gonna try that for sure. And I get the idea with the bruising. It's like, oh, it's starting to hurt now. So I've been yeah, I've been playing around a little bit with the rhythm and with kind of the pressure and kind of, yeah. So just to see if that makes any difference. I mean, they are acupressure points, right? So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, how fast and how intense to tap. I mean, sometimes often we just get carried away with the emotion, right? It's like we're feeling something intense and we're like, oh, get this out, I want to get this out, I want to get this out. But actually, Brittany found that if you tap like slower, that can help it clear faster. So it might be worth experimenting a little bit how you feel of versus okay. All right, little excursion at the beginning, but a good one. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Again, my name is Tina. I am one of Brittany's coaches, and today we're working on emotional eating. A little bit of the housekeeping. If you've been here before, you've probably heard this. The meeting is recorded. It will get uploaded in your membership area under the tapping circle, where you also find an archive of many, many old calls. So if you want to dive in between the live calls, you absolutely can pull up an old recording and tap with us. I'm not sure how long it takes at the moment. Usually it's a couple of days. So if you don't see it right away tomorrow, be patient, check again in a couple of days and use an old recording in the meanwhile. Also, I'd like to ask you to keep your microphones muted while we are tapping. just so we don't have so much background noise. But if you have a question, a problem, something's going on, please raise your hand, and you can either use your virtual hand in Zoom. On the computer, you find this at the bottom bar. There's a raise hand button. I'm not exactly sure where it's on the phone, somewhere near the reaction buttons. However, if you don't find the button, but you're willing to have your camera on, you can also wave at me with your real life hand. And if you don't want your camera on, or you're tuning in with a phone and it's important, then just unmute yourself. I would like to ask you to keep those questions, commenting, though, to the breaks. We're going to tap. I'll lead you through some tapping, and we have pauses in between. And if something's coming up, please let me know in the pauses in between. Also, we have the chat box. You can use that to share your numbers if you want to share your ratings, how intense you're feeling, or if you want to share with the group what's happening for you. Feel free to type in the chat box. I'll try to have one eye on the chat, but for me it's a little difficult to lead you, watch you while you're tapping, pace the whole thing, and read everything that's going on, so I might miss things that go through the chat. So if it's important, I'd rather have you raise your hand and talk to me. So basically, yeah, that's the housekeeping. And I already said today we are working on emotional eating. So basically we need ideally some food. If you have food to push away, get it ready. If you don't have food to push away, not a big deal. And or if it's a time for you where not usually that hungry. I know most of you are in the US, so it's probably lunchtime, and I'm not sure, maybe you feel like me. For me, it was always in the evening when I got the munchies. So if it's not your time of the day where you usually emotionally eat, or you don't have food in front of you, you can go back to the last time you ate emotionally, be that last night or last week. So basically you would think yourself to the point basically right before you ate the food, because this is when the emotions were coming up. This is basically a little mini echo tapping to get to the echo. And this is also a way you can use if you're tapping on your own and you don't follow recording and you find it difficult to stop yourself while you're eating. So maybe you're already head over heels into your chocolate or your cookies and you're like, oh my God, I should push the food away, but I can't get myself to do it. You can go back the next day. You can go back later and think yourself back to that time. This might be easier in the beginning when you can't quite manage to do the push the food away in the moment. Because if we do it a little later, the emotions aren't quite as high, so it might be easier to get the foot in the door and basically open that memory. I just want to put this out there. Of course, you can always go into our archive and pull up a recording and tap with us. That's just another option you can use if you say like, boy, I know I should tap, but I just can't. I stuff my face and then later I'm like, shit, I should have tapped. Has probably happened to most of us, right? Definitely me here too. Okay, so get your food ready or think about some time where you binged. And yeah, what's emotional eating? Well, basically we have two big food blocks. One is the emotional eating and one is the cravings. Emotional eating is when we are going away from negative emotions. So this is usually when we're stressed, when some old memory got triggered, something reminded us of something in the past, and we might not even consciously remember, but our body and our subconscious mind does. And we kind of overreact, and then the emotions come up, and then we need some food to stuff the emotions down, right? Just stuff them down so we don't feel them. So we're basically going away from the negative emotion. Also, for emotional eating, usually it's not as important what the type of food is, as long as you have some food you can stuff in your face. So that means, of course, if you're a chocolate girl and you have chocolate in the house, this will be the first thing you go to, of course. But if there's no chocolate there, It might be the cookies, it might be the cheese, it might be the chips, it might be a can of beans, it might be some dry bread, it might be, doesn't matter, any type of calories will do, basically. That's another hallmark of emotional eating. Negative emotions and type of food doesn't matter so much. In contrast, we have the cravings. Cravings is what we call an attachment to positive emotions that we are going towards that are connected to the food. For example, when you're all stressed and you grab your favorite cookies, which happen to be the kind that you used to bake with your grandma, then your brain might have linked the cookies with grandma's love and all the good and fun times you had at grandma's house. So basically you're craving that good experience, the good feelings, the love, the fun, the connection with that person. So cravings is good memories. And also it's usually a very specific food. So it has to be that particular type of cookies that you made with grandma, for example, chocolate chip cookies. So oatmeal raisin won't do the trick, and something else like chocolate or pizza definitely wouldn't do it. And it can be even as specific that you say, oh, it's just one specific brand of cookies and the other one won't do it. Or only home-cooked meals or home-baked cookies, but not the store-bought ones. So cravings, positive emotions, very specific food, emotional eating, negative emotions, and pretty much anything will do. So today we're going to do the push the food away technique. And the question I often get is, what's the difference, or is there a difference between push the food away and echo tapping? And basically, we often use this synonymous. The echo tapping, the name comes from an echo, which in psychology represents basically a version of your younger self, which is trapped in that memory that couldn't get processed. So basically, read echo is negative memory. So that means we can technically use echo tapping for any sort of negative memories, whether they are linked with food or not. So in push the food away, we use echo tapping as a technique, but we use the food to get the foot in the door and find the echo, basically. But you could use echo tapping also without the food. For example, if you want to tap on public speaking anxiety or grief because your dog died, or something that might be connected to other stuff that happened in the past. So basically echo tapping is the technique, the more general term, and we use it in conjunction with the push the food away technique to find the food related memories. I hope that helps to clarify the language we are using here. And then for the cravings, we have the ball of light technique, which is basically also tapping, but combined with a different psychological tool. All right, I think I've talked enough for everybody. Just shake it out. Maybe want to stretch. Just get you back in the moment here and out of our brains, because I bet some of you like to flee into their brains and out of their bodies. That's at least my default. So just getting back moving a little bit. All right. So we have food, or we think about our favorite food that we last binge on. If you have real food in front of you, you can smell it. You can maybe even have a little taste. If you don't have food, I want you to think about the food you last binged on, or whatever is your kryptonite. Imagine it. Imagine seeing it, smelling it, tasting it. And I want you to get the desire up for the food. So the thing is, the more we want the food, the better the technique works. So this is why I said, oh, if it's not your time of day and you only want the food on like a 1 or 2 out of 10, might not be the best time to do the echo tapping. You really need to want it. And then, yeah, tune into your body and see how strongly do you want the food on a scale from 0 to 10. 0 is like, I don't really want it at all. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I could just put it back in the fridge or in the pantry. And 10 is like, oh my God, I have to inhale the whole thing right now. And if you want, you can share your numbers in the chat. I see a 10, I see an 8. Good. 10s and 8s. Yeah. Excellent. Good, good, good. All right. So really feel like what's drawing you to the food. What is it? Is it the taste? Is it the smell? Is the Feel how much you want it and allow yourself to want the food. Maybe your number goes up another half point or so. And then if you have real food in front of you, take your hands, push it away from you so you can't reach it. And if you work on basically virtually in your head, imagine pushing the food away and tell yourself, no, I'm not eating this right now. And notice if there's a little voice in your head that says, well, yeah, maybe not now, but when the call is over, I'm totally gonna dive in. And tell that little voice, no, not gonna eat that later either. Not gonna eat it today, I'm not gonna eat it tonight, I'm not gonna eat it tomorrow, I'm not gonna eat it this week. You're just not gonna eat it, period. And feel in your body. If that stirs up some anxiety, some uncomfortable feelings, and feel where in your body you feel it. And you can, if it helps, tap the karate chop point. For me, that helps me to go back in time and find the echo. For some people, it's easier to basically do the tuning in before starting to tap. That's totally up to you. See whichever one works for you. Feel that uncomfortable feeling. There's no, I can't have the food. It's like, wah, there might be a little bit of panic. Feel how you feel it. How do you know you're uncomfortable? How do you feel you want the food? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your throat? Yeah, dizzy, nauseous. Is it in your heart, in your chest? Is your earlobe itching? Is your little toe doing some crazy things? Breathing faster? Yeah, good. Okay. And then let your body take you back in time. When have you felt this before? Does this remind you of anything or anyone? Does this feel familiar somehow, this feeling? Let your body take you back. How old do you feel? Maybe you have an age, maybe you don't. Either way is good. For me, age is usually the thing I get lost from a memory. But maybe there's like little images popping up, or you hear somebody's voice, or you see yourself in a place. And go with the first thing that pops into your mind. Whether you feel like it's a real memory or not, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes our brain gives us more like metaphorical images, like in a dream. For example, sometimes when I feel lonely, my younger self sits in like a dark room that doesn't really exist in real life, but it kind of depicts the mood. And then start tapping through the points and see, do you have a situation, a memory come up? Can you see your younger self? Or do you have a sense of how old you are? If you don't, that's not a big deal. You just stick with the feeling. Feel the feeling. Feel that uncomfortable feeling. And see, can you already identify an emotion? Is it maybe sadness or anger or fear? If you can't yet, that's okay too. If it just feels like general anxiety. Anxiety is kind of like a blanket emotion that covers up a lot of stressful things. Can you see your younger self in front of you? And our job now is to help her. So the first thing we need to do is get closer to her. Can you walk up to your younger self? As slowly as you need, and notice if there's any resistance. Maybe it feels like you can't put one foot in front of the other. You're stuck. Maybe your feet feel like glued to the floor, or maybe there's like a wall between you and your little self, or something's pulling you back. Feel that feeling in your body. If you have resistance, and just feel it and keep tapping. If you can walk towards your younger self, Can you get so close that you could put a hand on her shoulder? And if she's okay with that, you can check in with her. If you're new to this, you might need to introduce yourself and tell your little self, hey, I'm you from the future and I'm here to help you. And check how she reacts. We don't want to do anything that she is not okay with. So if she doesn't want to be hugged, don't hug her. But let her know, I'm here for you and I want to help you. And if she's okay with being touched, maybe put a hand on her shoulder and see if you can pick up on the emotion she's feeling. And then see if you can slip inside of her little body. If you need to shrink yourself to make it happen, that's absolutely fine. And also here, notice if that is difficult. If it's difficult, no problem, just notice the difficulty. Sometimes I happen to be like half in, half out, kind of like stuck halfway. Just tap, breathe, and feel whatever's going on. And if you can slip inside of her little body, do that. If it's not possible at all, also no big deal. You can just stay by her side as your adult self and help her that way. So wherever you are, either inside of your younger self or standing next to her as your adult self, and look around. Where are you? Do you recognize the place? And are there other people? If there are other people in your memory, we're going to freeze them. So they can't move and they can't talk, but they can listen. And tune into your body and see what is that emotion you're feeling. Can you maybe give it a name now? And can you give it a number 0 to 10? How strong is it? And also notice what's going on around you in that memory. Terror at a 10, yeah. And I just want you to keep tapping and looking at that situation with everybody else being frozen so they can't harm you. And if that's still too scary, you can push them further away so that they get smaller. Or you can make the whole situation black and white. Just notice what's going on in your body, that emotion you're feeling. Fear and sadness, yeah. If you need to say anything about the situation, we have here, I'm sorry, yeah. Feel it and say it. Or maybe it's a no, get away from me. Anything you need to say, anything you need to yell out, anything you need to scream, do that. Otherwise, just feel what's going on while you're tapping. Can you notice what's going on in your body as you're tapping and saying whatever's coming up? And can you notice if there's a shift, even if it's a tiny one? A shift could be that all of a sudden you take a deeper breath and maybe let out a sigh. Or what also often happens is yawning. That's a good sign. Or maybe there's a little tear or maybe some bigger tears coming. And if your eyes get watery, can you feel if they're like hot tears, like emotional sad tears? Or does it just feel like your eyes are watering without sadness attached to it? Or maybe you feel your stomach moving, making some noises, or like burping, farting. All these little body responses, or maybe your shoulders sink down a little bit. Those are signs of relaxation and clearing the first layer. And if that's not happening yet, that's okay too. Maybe your intensity goes up in the beginning. That's pretty common too, because we've been shoving that memory away, right? Now that we are looking at it and we actually allow it to be here, it's quite common that in the beginning the numbers go up. So maybe you went from a 10 to a 12 or a 20. Just feel it. Feel it in your body. And then, can you feel that sensation? And at the same time, while you keep tapping, feel your feet on the floor or whatever your feet are in contact with. And can you feel your butt on the chair or whatever you're sitting on? And maybe if your back is leaning against the backrest, can you feel that? Can you feel where your body is in contact with the surrounding, whatever you're sitting on? Just notice that. Your body making an imprint on the chair, on the sofa. I see some good yawns. Good job, ladies. All right. And then if you have your eyes closed, I want you to open them and let's just take a little break and shake it out. Maybe you want to make some noises, shake, stretch, maybe kick your legs, shake out your legs. Maybe you need to get up and walk around your chair 3 times. It's good to tap a little bit and then take a break, come back to the here and now. That going in and out also helps to clear things. And also it's a good way if you feel like your emotions are getting too hot too quickly and it's getting overwhelming and too much, coming out of it, coming back to the here and now, feeling your body in contact with the surrounding, opening your eyes, looking around where you are, and you can even see, oh, what's my favorite color here? Or do I have a house plant? Can I see my pet? Do I have a painting I like to look at? Those are things that bring you out of the memory back to the here and now, and that's one way to take the edge off. So if you ever feel like things go too fast, too quickly, too intense, bring yourself back by looking at where you are, feeling your body in contact with the ground right here, right now, while you're tapping and breathing. All right. And then see if you need a sip of water, if you need a stretch. And whenever you're ready, ladies, then tune back in. Go back into that memory. See that situation in front of you again, and you can start tapping again, karate chop or directly to the points. And how strong is that emotion now? Did it change in any way, shape, or form? Did it get stronger? Did it get less? Did it change? Did it get maybe less dense? Did it move around in your body? Take note. 10 to 6, good. Already some clearing. Good, good, good. And as you're tapping and looking at that situation, feeling that emotion, feel where it is in your body. That's basically the feeling is the important part. It's words can help us express what's going on and keep the focus and basically zone in on whatever's happening. And I like to talk things out loud as I'm tapping. But the important part is the feeling in the body. So even if you don't say anything and you don't know what to say, as long as you can feeling what's going on in your body, where you feel the discomfort while you're tapping, that's all you need. That'll do some clearing. I see we got down already. Good. Head is pounding, yeah. So coughing and yawning, yeah. Those are also signs that some stuff is moving out. Alrighty. Okay. And then see if there's people in your memory. They're still frozen. They still can't move. They still can't talk. See if there's some anger, frustration coming up. The feeling it's not fair. This wasn't okay. And if you don't have anyone else in your memory, for example, you feel lonely, alone, abandoned, there usually is someone that should be there, right? When your parents left you alone, then basically your parents left you. So bring them in, freeze them as well, and see if there's any bit of anger, frustration. This was not okay. This isn't fair. Can you tap into that? And if it's not, if you're still at sadness, that's okay too. But see those people in front of you who can't move? And if you feel anger, grab your anger toy. So this could be a pillow, this could be a rolled up blanket, this could be something soft. I sometimes like to use like a squishy ball you can punch that has a really nice rebound. You can really beat it up real good. If you don't have anything, you can use the edge of your sweatshirt. You can kind of manhandle. So if you're feeling getting pissed off, getting mad, getting frustrated, notice where that feeling lives in your body, and we're gonna start by talking to those people about it. Maybe you say, hey, this isn't okay how you treated me. I don't deserve that. Just get away. Don't come closer. I don't want you to touch me. What you said is not okay. Whatever it is, they have to listen. They can't move. They can't talk. If those people are too scary, you can confine them. You can put them in handcuffs. You can chain them to the refrigerator. You can put them behind bars. You can lock them in the closet. You can put them farther away. But tell them what was not okay, and tell them, I'm angry at what you did to me. I did not deserve that. Stop it now. Or maybe it was you left me alone. You should be here and take care of me. How could you leave me? I was just a little girl. How you expect me to do that all by myself? What is it you want to tell them? And the more energy you can also put in your voice, the better you can move it out. And then when you're ready, tune into your body. How does your body want to get that frustration, that anger out? If you have your pillow, maybe you want to punch it. Maybe you want to slap someone, so you can take your pillow and slap it this way. Maybe you want to hit them on the head like this. Maybe you want to pound the pillow on your knees, on your lap. Maybe you want to throw it. Maybe you want to shake them and go like, or maybe you want to choke them. And you can make noises. Well, of course, if you have someone in the house or neighbors and you're worried about someone calling the police, if you feel like screaming, you can take your pillow or blanket and scream into the pillow like, and you're allowed to growl and make noises. Let that frustration out. Like, it's not okay, just. And you will feel the anger comes in waves, so you can manhandle your pillow for a while, and then you come to a point where it's like, I need a breather. Then just come back to tapping and breathing. So we basically do cycles of letting the anger out physically, and it's important to do that physical part of it. That's what clears it out completely. So just tapping on it will bring the anger down temporarily, but it's not going to clear it out completely, so it can come back. That's why the anger work is so important. And I know it also can be a little intimidating when you first start. That's okay too. So if you're still at it, manhandling your pillow, do what you gotta do. If you're taking a break, just breathe and tap and feel the energy coursing through your body. If you are on another emotion like sadness, just feel that. Notice. Do you feel energized? How about your temperature? Did you get warmer or cooler? What about your breath? Are you breathing faster or slower than before? Good. And then when you're ready, check back in with that frustration, anger, not fair feeling, or whatever emotion you're working on, and see what's left. Give it a number. See if it changed, if it feels different in your body. If it is less or more or different consistency, maybe less dense, more fluffy, or maybe it moved around. Check in, notice your number. And then whatever is left, gather together in a bigger or smaller ball in your power center, if it's anger, frustration, not fair feeling. And from there, grab your pillow and next round, manhandling. If you need to say something, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. And you can imagine manhandling that person you're angry at. If that doesn't quite feel safe yet, that's okay too, but I give you the option to basically take virtual revenge as you are manhandling your pillow, and it's like, I just want to slap some common sense into you, just go for it. Good. Yeah, I see numbers are coming down. Good, ladies. So let the anger out, and when you need a break, back to tapping and breathing. You're doing great. Awesome. I like what I see. Good, good, good. Not sure now. Feeling a little spaced out. Okay, that's perfectly fine. That's basically the first indication that the anger is clearing. So we basically know it's gone when you feel tired, exhausted, and totally spaced out. And basically you don't have energy anymore. It feels like a little grounding, like sinking, and it's almost hard to lift your arm. If you're not quite sure yet, then my rule of thumb is, if in doubt, do another round, because it's important to get it out completely. So sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, my arms are heavy, but I know there's still a little bit left, and I kind of need to kick my butt. And it's like, okay, then just start pounding your pillow, get the motion going, and usually if something's still left, it's gonna come out, and you go, oh yeah, there's something. Okay. If you do this and you're like, oh my god, I just want to keel over and take a nap, then probably you're done. That's how you know it's, yeah, energy's deflated. Good. I know it feels exhausting, and yeah, anger work isn't necessarily the thing we like to do the most, but it's so healing. So yeah, if you're just taking a break, also here you can try out the tapping slower when you're on the break part. If you still have anger inside, then you might be still at the just, yeah. When you're at your breather, can you notice your breath without changing it? Just observe how fast or slow it is, how deep or shallow is it. Can you feel the temperature of the air? Probably a little cooler on the inhale, a little warmer on the exhale. And let's see, if you still have some anger left, let's check back in. Anything left? I always say check under the rug and in the corners if there's little bits and pieces hiding somewhere, and if so, bring them in, bring them into your power center in your belly. If you're not quite sure, do another round, see if just doing the motions brings up a little more, and when you're totally toast and ready for a nap, then just tap and breathe until the rest of us catches up. Anger work doesn't seem like what my little self needs today. Okay, well, good observation. So then what does she need? Does she need a hug, maybe? Yeah, I haven't done an anger work yet, but I feel like I can't be completely unrestrained. Also not alone in the house, yeah. There might be some resistance to anger work. I can talk a little bit about that in the end. Alrighty, everybody, let's just come back to tapping and breathing. If there's still anger left, feel free to continue. But if you're like, oh my god, I'm toast, I'm done, that was it. See if there's a follow-up emotion. Often we have anger linked with sadness, so Often anger is first and it flips into sadness, but could also be the other way around, that kind of the sadness is covering up the anger. And that's okay. Tap and breathe. And then just stop the tapping. Let's shake it out, ladies. Good job. Yeah, I know, doing anger work when you're not alone is difficult. You can try how it feels like if even the pillow screaming feels not safe and you feel like your husband's gonna come in and see if he needs to rescue you or something like that. You can try imagining screaming in your head, or you can imagine kind of throwing a temper tantrum and doing the beating up. Just doing the virtual revenge is a technique too. But if you have the chance at some point to get physical, that's a good idea. However, you can also, I don't have a rolled up towel. If you have a rolled up towel or blanket or the edge of your sweatshirt, you can also try, I'll take my blanket, that's easier to show. You can like twist it up like this and just see if you can twist it as hard as you can. This is not as disruptive as the pounding the pillow, but it engages your muscles and it's getting like this fight reflex out that's in there, because the anger is basically telling us we want to defend ourselves, and this is why we kind of need to get physical. So see if you can just, with all your muscles, squeeze it as hard as you can, and you can tighten your belly and go like, and see if that gets it out, if you can't really go berserk. All right. Okay, let's see. If you need to stretch, some water. Let's come back to the here and now. Feel your feet on the floor, your butt on the chair, whatever you're in contact with, and just look around your place and say, okay, this is my living room or my kitchen. It's 2025 right now. Yeah, wiggling, kicking the legs in the air, even when you're sitting, that's a good one. Our leg muscles are big muscles, and they are also involved in fighting, like kicking someone, and they're also involved in running away. So usually if I can get my legs into the whole thing, it also helps the anger clear out faster than if I'm just going about with my arms here. Good observation, yeah. Okay. So when you're ready, tune back into that situation and tap. And see little you in front of you again. And this time I want you to get into the scene as your adult self. So not get into her body. Let's walk up to her and let her know I'm here to help you. And what does little you need to hear from you? I mean, if there's still the other people, you can just kick them out. You can send them past the moon. You can send them to jail, whatever you want to do with them. You can send them to boot camp. Just get rid of them so that it's just you and your little one. And you can take her to a safe place, whether that's a real place or an imaginary place, like going to the beach or into the woods or to the mountains. Or maybe you have a favorite house, a place to be inside. And check with your little one. Does she maybe need a hug? Does she need you to protect her? What do you want her to know? What does she need to hear? And I'm giving you some suggestions, and you can either follow me or use your own words. I'm here for you. I'll protect you. And I know exactly how you feel. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And I'm so sorry I wasn't there earlier. Thank you for letting me know that you were in distress. I love you. I'm here for you now. And this was not your fault. You did not deserve what happened. You do not deserve to be treated like that. I am here now to keep you safe. I am here to protect you. And you can bring in anything that would make her more comfortable and feel safe. So if you want to bring in your guardian angels or spirit guides, or maybe you have a favorite cartoon character that could protect little you, bring them in. And what do you want to tell that little girl, little you? Say it in your own words. What does she need to know? What do you want her to know? And as you're talking to her, you can even imagining tapping on her little body, if that's okay with her. Or you can teach her to tap on herself, whichever feels better for you and her. Just take a moment to comfort her, love her, talk to her. Let her know she's not alone, you are there now. Is there anything else she needs? You can even ask her, what do you need right now? What can I do for you? What can I get you? Or any place she wants to go. What do you need her to hear? Ask her, is there anything she needs to make this better? Maybe she wants to go outside and play. Whatever she needs, make it happen. All right. Now let's take a break again. Shake it out, stretch, have a sip of water. And then when you're ready, check back in with a little you again. And check that original emotion and the distress she was in. And see if there's anything left. And feel free to share in the chat if you like. Okay. Good. So how are we doing, ladies? Give me a thumb. So I hope your numbers have come down. She feels safe and happy and is smiling. Great, very relaxed. Sounds good. All right. Good. Okay. Start tapping through the points again. And see little you in front of you one more time. And ask her if she wants to come with you. And see what she says. If she says no, if she wants to stay, that's absolutely fine. And then just let her know, okay, you can call me at any time, and maybe you can agree in a way how she can contact you. Some of my folks like to give their little ones a cell phone so she can call, or maybe she has a little bell, or you can agree that she makes your nose itch, whatever works for both of you. And then if she's all good, you can leave her there. But if she wants to come with you, shrink her down until she fits into the palm of your hand and place her inside of your heart. And I like to place one hand on my heart. And you can keep tapping with the other hand. Or what I like to do, there's a tapping point on the back of the hand. So if you go between your little finger and your ring finger, if you follow those to the back of your hand, you can feel the bones. And in between the bones, here, there's a tapping point. And you can take 2 or 3 fingers and tap there. That groove between little finger and ring finger and the back of the hand, if you follow them. That's called the gamut point, and I like to place the hand on my heart, so my heart kind of feels the tapping. You can experience with that, or you can tap free-floating. And at any point in time, when you've had enough of that, or you don't like this one, you can go back to your regular tapping points. So, but yeah, if your little one wanted to come with you, place her inside of your heart and feel all the love that's there for her. And safety, because now you're looking out for her, you're protecting her. And feel her inside of your heart with this new knowledge that she gained from this tapping experience, hopefully having cleared another memory. And while she is in your heart, feel her grow up. So see her getting older and older. And maybe she's walking through life differently. Maybe she has a little spring in her step. Maybe she wants to skip as she's growing up. Maybe she's dealing with situations differently. Maybe she's more confident. Maybe she feels safer. Feel her grow up. And if you're passing another event that needs some tapping, let her know you see that, but also tell her, you know what, we've done enough for today, but you can take notes later so you remember it and go back in time and tap another time. Feel her grow up inside of your heart, surrounded by all that love you have for her and that safety. And just keep growing her up, see her getting older and older until she reaches present day. Can you feel that love and safety that's in your heart? Can you make it stronger? And when your little one reaches present day, feel her arrive and let her merge with you, because she's you and you are her. And also let your energy fields that bubble around you merge. And from your heart, you can imagine that love and safety being like a bright light. Can you make it fill your whole torso? Shining bright, getting stronger. Also filling your belly, your whole torso. Still getting brighter and brighter until it flows into your legs and arms, up your neck, into your head. Filling your whole body with that love and safety and beautiful light. Can you make that light and that feeling even stronger until it bursts out of your body and folds your energy field, your aura around you? like a nice protective bubble. You can imagine it about arm's length out, filled with love and safety and healing light. And I'll just give you a moment to keep filling up, like charging your battery with this healing light, and love, and safety. And you can even imagine that your energy field, that bubble around you, protecting you. So if anyone comes who has not the best intentions, they just bounce off of that bubble, and you can see them fall on their butt looking confused. And they just turn around and run for the hills, because that is freaky. And just fill up with that light, that love, that peace, until your battery is fully charged and nothing more fits in for today. And when that feels complete, you can bring your hands together over your heart center and take one more breath, just feeling that feeling. And when you're ready, you're welcome to open your eyes again. And welcome back, ladies. Good work. How are you doing? One last time, check back in with that memory in your little one. Is there anything left of what we had when we started? And then we have the ultimate test. Check back on your food. Oh, and you're so welcome. I appreciate all of you being here doing the hard work, ladies. My pleasure to guide you and take you by the hand. So check on your food and feel free to share if there's anything left. Or if you could just put it back. Oh, you're welcome. You got a 0. Good. Awesome. If you still have intensity left on the food, first check, are you hungry? Because if you haven't eaten yet all day, it might be genuine physical hunger. So in that case, feed your body. If you feel like there's still some emotional eating left, I would tap on that food again another time. So when you have the echo tapping, the push the food away recording with Brittany, you hear her go through the whole process 3 times, because it can be 3 or multiple different memories coming up. However, if you've done such an intense session, including anger work, usually after that, you're done. And your body and your brain, they need rest to integrate. And also there's still changes happening in your brain, kind of like the rewiring keeps happening, even if you stopped tapping. And so this can take a day or 2. So I would recommend take a break from intense tapping. So don't do the next recording tomorrow. Take it easy for the rest of the day and tomorrow. And it can also happen that you get what we call a tapping hangover, how I call it, which is like tomorrow you may be low energy, feel a little grumpy, just a little off and a little, that is still your brain rewiring. And basically there's still a little dust in the air that's settling. What you can do is hydrate, drink, make sure also not just water, maybe a little bit of salt, like broth is a good thing, or something salty if you feel like you need it. Taking an Epsom salt bath is good. Getting out in nature is good. Taking a nap is good if you can. And if you're feeling off tomorrow, you can just tap a few minutes, just 2 to 5 minutes, tapping and breathing, feeling your feet on the ground, your butt on the chair, and maybe doing some shaking, tap and shaking, to just clear the little dust out that's still settling, and then see how you feel like the day after tomorrow. Or maybe it might take another day, but then you should go back to normal. And yeah, we're at the top of the hour, but if you still have a couple more minutes, we had the question about anger work. There can be resistance First of all, when you feel like, oh, I can't go fully into it because there's other people around and they might freak out, which is a perfectly valid thing. I mean, I live by myself, but I'm in an apartment building. So I was worried if I scream out of the top of my lungs that my neighbors will call the police. Hence the pillow screaming is a good one. Also, the imagining screaming is a good one. But if you can, at some point, what Brittany says, if you have a car, which unfortunately I don't, you can drive into an empty parking lot and do your anger work in the car, because then you're away from people. You might try that. Or if you can go out in nature and take something with you to destroy, if you want to, whatever, have some tree branches you can crack, or if you want to rip something apart, I like to use like an egg carton where your eggs come in. You can just rip it up, or you can take a roll of paper towels, rip it up, or if you have some cardboard box from your last Amazon delivery, you want to rip that up. That's a good one too. If you feel like stabbing someone, I use a cardboard box and little nail scissors or knitting needles. Just make sure you don't stab yourself or anything or anyone. Stay safe, ladies. Yeah, getting the legs into it can be helpful. So like stomping your feet or kicking in the air, or I like to get up and sometimes jump up and down, or I like to kind of knee my pillow so that I drive my knee up into it, smashing the pillow on the knee. Those are basically all good options. Sometimes I want to bite something. I've bitten my pillow and I'm like, oh, you know, like a dog goes with a toy. They're like going. Of course, also here, make sure you don't destroy your teeth. Use something soft. Use caution. You are adults. You know how to take care of your body. Now, when the resistance is more, oh, it doesn't feel okay to even go into the anger work, even if I'm alone. It doesn't feel okay to get angry, maybe. That's a common thing too, because, yeah, we haven't been taught that being angry is okay and how to be angry in a safe way, right? We either were told, oh, don't get angry at all, or maybe we had a parent who blew up and got violent, and either one is the extreme end of the spectrum, but not the healthy way to do it. So if you feel like you have resistance feeling anger at all, you can use the journal and tap method and think about and tune in, answer for the following questions. Why is it not safe to get angry? Or it's not safe to get angry because, and fill in. And I'm not allowed to get angry because, fill in. And it's possible that you end up in a memory, whatever, your parents punishing you for getting angry, sending you to your room, giving you the silent treatment, taking your favorite toy away, whatever it was. This might be a round of echo tapping there. And usually it's one of two or three things. It could be not allowed to get angry because they won't love me anymore. I'll get punished. So basically there's withdrawal of love and punishment instead. Or they told me, oh yeah, all negative consequences that getting angry had would fall in that category. So they won't love me anymore, so it's not safe to get angry. I'll get punished. The second one is if you had a violent family member, it could be that you witnessed that and said, oh, I never want to be like them, ever. It's not safe because this is dangerous. I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to be like my grandmother. I don't want to be like whoever flew off the handle and got violent. That's something you can tap on. And also, this might feel like if I allow my anger, I won't be able to control it. It's just going to blow everything up. It's going to destroy me. And you can exaggerate. The more you exaggerate, the better it is. You can say, okay, I won't be able to control my anger. I'm afraid I'm just going to blow up everything. I'm going to blow up myself. I'm going to blow up my apartment. I'm going to blow up the whole street. I'm going to blow up my whole city. I'm just going to blow up the whole planet. Everything's just going to explode if I get angry, and I won't be able to control it. And I'm so afraid if I start, I'll never be able to stop. And so basically you voice that, whether it's with journaling it out beforehand or freestyling it, while you tap, and that's going to clear it. So we had the afraid of negative consequences. We had the afraid to be like an angry person. And the third thing could be that you got angry in the past and basically you hurt someone or something. I had someone tell me, yeah, I once intervened in a fight and I punched the one girl and she had her nose broken. And it was like, ever since I don't allow myself to get angry again because I don't want that to happen again. Now that is a very, very good reason not to get angry, right? And you can also tap on that. If you have such a situation, that would also be an echo tapping, where you go back to that situation and work through this kind of like we did today. And you might even get angry at your little one if she kind of broke someone's nose, and you're like, oh my God, how could you do that? You can talk to your little one, and that should basically get the resistance to the anger out of the system. And you might need to do it more than once, especially if you have like 2 or all 3 of those anger blocks. But this is how you can work on it. And if you feel like you're forcing yourself to do anger work, but it doesn't clear and it doesn't get better, then you probably have some combination of those blocks that your system says, oh God, no, I can't get angry, not allowed, not safe, not something. Alrighty. That's what I have to say about that. Do you ladies have any questions? Anything else you want to share or ask? Tina, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was great. I'm sorry, my voice is gone a little bit. Thank you so much. Just if you're doing this alone, because I'm going through I'm just started the program. So, I mean, is there I feel like I need to give myself a little bit of grace as well.
Absolutely,
So I said to maybe time yourself in between doing these sessions. You said maybe a couple of days would be good. Or, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the big ones with anger, yeah, definitely 1 or 2 days in between. I usually did it such that I kind of did the bigger things on the weekend when I knew I had more time, and I also had time to recover afterwards. So if you want to do just the kind of regular echo tapping minus the anger, the recording from Brittany, the 17 minutes where she leads you through 3 times, I would do that in between. And then, yeah, maybe just one or 2 of those big sessions a week is, I think more is plenty. I mean, not every echo has anger in it. I just like to teach it because I know it's hard to do it by yourself and it's an important part. So I feel like I hope it helps you ladies if I take you by the hand and guide you through it. So of course, if you don't have anger in a given situation, you're not trying to make yourself angry at all costs, then of course, if it's just sadness or if it's something else, you just keep working on that. So this is your session, and basically whenever I'm leading something that doesn't fit you, you are allowed to change the words, you're allowed to go a different route, and basically just leading the majority, but make it work for you. And experiment with it, be curious, absolutely, and give yourself grace, because yes, there is too much of a good thing, there is too much tapping. So basically, if your system hasn't processed and hasn't finished integrating what we did today, and you force yourself to tap on a big thing again too soon, it can kind of burn you out, and that can cause a resistance, so that then you're like, oh my God, no, I don't want to tap anymore. And in the worst case, that can basically lead you to sabotage yourself out of the program, and we don't want that. So you rather give yourself a day longer if you're not quite sure, and you'll feel it in your body. I mean, it's kind of like I said, tapping hangover. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't know how real hangover feels, but that's kind of how I imagine it, that you're like off and just like, eventually this should get better. If it lasts more than 2 or 3 days, yeah, then maybe there's still something in the system that needs some tapping on. It could also be sometimes it's when you have cleared a big thing that other things have an easier time popping up. So it's kind of like you pull the cork out of a champagne bottle and then all the stuff just keeps coming out. That can happen too, especially once you start getting really into the anger work. All of a sudden you find yourself angry at everybody and their dog. That's okay too. I mean, we've stuffed down like decades of anger. It's okay if that you might go a little bit the other way for a while. So yeah, then if you feel like it's like an emergency and I need a tap because otherwise I go crazy, then by all means do the tapping, right? So if tomorrow you feel like, oh, I just want to kill my husband because I'm so angry, I'd rather have you tap than kill your husband, obviously, right? So I mean, you know how you feel. You know how you feel. But in general, it's good to give yourself like 48 hours at least. And also, you might feel if you haven't cleared something completely yet, over the next day or two, that's still lowers. So it might be that you're still at a 2 right now, but if you check back in 2 days, like, oh, I don't remember that this ever was a problem. And I think the longest for me personally it took was about 4 or 5 days. The absolute longest that happened like 1 or twice when I had a really, really big session. But basically, eventually you'll feel it in your body like, oh yeah, I'm ready for more. You have your energy back. Or you feel like stuff is coming up again. And then, yeah, basically see if you can give yourself some grace, listen to what your body needs. And it's okay to take it easy. This is not a sprint. It's more of a marathon. You're learning techniques for life here. And yeah, it does get better. Even if at some point you have a little purge, how we call it, this like things keep bubbling up. That sucks a little bit. You need to get through this, but I promise you, once you're through that, you'll feel a heck of a lot better. And a purge can happen more than once. I've had a couple, but once you know you get through it and then there's a light at the end of the tunnel, then yeah, just keep it up, ladies. You're doing the brave work here. So I hope that helped. Anybody else has a question? We went a little over time already. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here, for being so brave, doing the hard work, and for sharing your numbers and your experiences. I appreciate you all being here, and my pleasure guiding you here.
Thank you.
And I hope I'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.